Hello, welcome to this video. Today I will show you how to analyze these bone defects. So here you can see a rat hip where a piece of the left hip was cut out to use as material for bone remodeling. So this is the scan after the surgery, and I've loaded the scan before surgery as overlay, and I can turn it on here, but we have to adjust the windowing to better see it. Here, let's make this somewhat higher, and now you can see the two scans in 3D. And so the overlay shows the scan before surgery, and you can see they are in a different position. So we can set some markers to bring them into the same position roughly. Then we can use the fusion to make it more accurate. So let's add a marker here. Set start marker. There's a hole in the bone here. I'm using that as a marker position. And we can set a marker here on the top of this arc. Let's place the middle marker, and we can use this arc here also as a marker, set end marker. So now we have 3 markers. Now we can place the same markers on the overlay. So let's hide the underlay and toggle the overlay to ISO rendering, and for markers we now need to tell it to place the markers on the overlay. So here's this hole, markers, set start marker, we wanted this arch here, the top of the arch, markers, set middle marker, and here in this, there, markers, set end marker. So for the markers it's important to not pick markers that are in a line, because then it won't work. So now we have the two. So now you can see both scans together, and we can say fusion, register overlay to underlay based on markers. And now they're sitting together. You can toggle the rendering back to transparent rendering, and now you can see here that the bone, this is the bone that has been removed roughly. And let's now segment this left hip here. Let's hide the overlay for a second, hide the markers, and we can add a temp class and perform a thresholding above 2000, for example. And now try to fetch this hip, old left hip, fetch it using fill region here, and now we can delete the temp class. Now we have the hip. Let's save the segmentation. Let's save it as left hip here. And now let's dilate it a bit, just to make it thicker. And now we can use the fusion and restrict it to this region here, and it'll put the overlay exactly on top of the underlay based on this region here. And the trick is to use only this region, because this is a rigid thing, and because the legs are not reliable, they are always in a different position. So let's use this coarse fusion first as a first step, and now it's already much more accurate than before. And now perform some more fine fusion for further accuracy, and there we go. Now we can delete the left hip like that, and now let's try to segment this bone here. So let's add a temp class and perform a thresholding on the overlay above 2000. Now you can see that bone part here. And now let's do a trick. We load a single class here, the left hip. We override all classes. And what we did now is we now have here, we kind of subtract the old left hip. You can see it here in this green, the bright green. That's the missing bone part from the overlay. Now let's dilate the hip from the underlay just by 1. And now we can create a class piece here and perform a fill region operation on that part. Now we have this, and now we can delete the temp class. We can delete the left hip, and now we have the missing bone part here. And we can save that as piece, and we can quantify its properties, the volume, or we can use the 3D printing module to create a STL file and send it to a 3D printer to print out that missing bone piece. Okay, I hope this helps, so thank you and bye bye.